The biggest problem we have with people is, or with ourselves, is we don't really have a good enough definition to what happiness is. I've asked many people, right? And you ask people, what makes you happy? What is happiness? And they'll always say, getting what you want. But when you realize it deeply, sometimes when you get the things that you want, you're still not happy. How many times does that person who gets the first $1 million that they've always wanted, they settle and they say, okay, I'm happy, I'm done, no more money, this is perfect. How many people say, oh, as long as I get this car, I don't need another car anymore, but then they're dissatisfied after a year. People want happiness, but we don't really know the definition of what happiness is. So let's redefine what happiness is. What is happiness? Now, can I define it? No, I can't. But I can give you some guidelines of what true happiness is. So what's true happiness? A question I'll give to you is, do you think you're truly, deeply happy even when things are not going well? And the answer is, yeah, if I'm truly happy, even if things don't work out, I should still be happy. I'll give you the first rule. The first guideline to happiness is what? If it's true happiness, it cannot be connected to anything tangible or finite. Why? Because the moment that thing is gone, then I'm no longer happy. If you connect it to a house, what if a tornado comes and blows your house away? Then you're not happy. What if it's on money? Well, what if the stock market crashes? You have no money left. You're not happy. True happiness is not based on anything that is finite. Even people. One time I was lecturing in Japan, and this woman said to me, well, I'm happy. And I said, what is your happiness? And she says, it's my children. And I said, no, that is not happiness. And she says, why not? I said, why? Because what if you go home today, you get into a car accident and both your kids die? I know it's a little bit grave, right? But it's a reality. It's finite. Even people are finite. If you base it on people, once people go away too, then your happiness goes away also. Guideline number 2. Happiness can't be based on your environment either. Why? Are you only happy when it's sunny? Are you sad when it's raining? Is that really happiness? No, that can't be true happiness either. And the last guideline of happiness is this. Even if everything is taken away, you can still be happy. That's what true happiness should be, right? So now I was like, okay, if I base it on these 3 things, what should I base my happiness on? The last section I give to you today is this. The way the human mind works, right? The way that your brain works, happiness is based on one thing. And what is that? Human beings, our brains are wired to one word. And the word is this. I'm going to give you an example. Okay, I'm going to give you a scenario. Let's say some stranger off the street gives you a pen, okay? And this pen's like $5. Now, someone gives you a pen, okay? You know what? It doesn't have to be a stranger. Let's just say it's your friend. And the person says, hey, here's a pen, $5 pen. And you're like, what's the first thing you'd say? Thank you, right? We'd all say, oh, thanks. But then the interesting thing is, there's always a second question that follows. It's like, it's not my birthday. It's not a special occasion. Why? Why'd you give me this pen? And the interesting thing about human beings is we're always searching for the why. That's how our brains are made. The why is that important to us. And I'm going to show you how important that why is. Because if that friend says to you, dude, I was cleaning my couch and my sofa, and then I'm like digging inside the sofa, and I found this pen. I thought to myself, I'm going to give this to the first person I meet today, and it's you. Now, when you listen to that reasoning, you'd feel like, oh, thanks. Right? It's not a big deal. Now let's say there's a second person that gives you the exact same pen. The exact same pen, the exact same price. And this person says to you, hey, I want to give this to you. And the first thing you'd say is, of course, thank you. And the second question would be, why? And this person says, you know what? We're friends. Come on, friends give each other gifts. I see you all the time. Your pens always run out. You're struggling with this. And I thought, man, I was at the store and the first thing I thought about was you. I thought, oh man, you really need this. This pen doesn't run out of ink very fast. It's a great pen. So I wanted to buy it for you. Now the question is, The pen, the result is exactly the same. But which one is more valuable to you? The second one. Why? Because the why matters. The reason makes a difference and actually changes the value of that pen. Now let me introduce a third person to the scenario. And let's say it's this grandma you've always loved, who took care of you, did everything for you, almost raised you. And she's sitting on her deathbed and she's like, oh, my child. And she comes and says, this is the last thing I give to you. And it's the exact same $5 pen. I don't have much, but I collected my money and I want to give you something because you're good at studying. And she gives you this pen before she dies. Now, question. If you lose that pen, how long would you look for it? Well, let's start with the first person who gave you the pen from his couch. How long would you look for that pen? 5 minutes? Maybe. What about the second pen, the one that your friend gave to you? Yeah, you might look for it 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30. But what about that pen that may even run out of ink? If you lose that pen, how long would you look for it? You'd look for it until you found it. It's the same price. It's the same pen. But what makes a difference to us? It's the why, the reason. It brings meaning to that pen. And you too, in life also, this happiness that you look for, the happiness is not in what you have. It's the reason behind it that gives it meaning and gives it value. 'Cause you have made this